the improvability of the Big Bang. Have any of you ever seen God?
Yes.
You better change your brand to smoke. That stuff is illegal. Now, a lot of people see God, but I recall one of my friends told me that he had this conversation with Jesus, and he says, "Man, I'm not going to touch that LSD stuff again." Okay, so who's God? Okay, well, Mr. Hovind will tell you that we know who God is because it says so in Bereshit, in the first book of the Bible, right? And who is God? Well, you know, it's interesting that in the Hebrew Bible, it doesn't tell us who God is. As a matter of fact, the name of God was so sacred that it was forbidden to be spoken in a loud voice. So who's God? Well, what does he look like? He looks like us. Because God made man in his own form. So God's a primate. God's a monkey. Is that what we're to conclude from this? Mr. Hovind, I don't know about you, but I'm not terribly comfortable with the idea of a deity as a monkey. Let me ask you something. How did a monkey creature which we ask, if you feel a tail, you're a monkey. No tail, you're an ape. Okay. So, an ape created the universe. Out of what? Who created the ape? Thank you.
Alright, let's look at the person next to you again. Is that person a human? Yeah. I know, don't wonder right now. Just go along with me, okay? Yeah, it's a human being. Have humans changed into a different kind of animal? No, we haven't. We're still humans. We have watched dogs. We have watched dogs reproduce for 6,000 years. Guess what we get every single time? A dog every single time. Now, if you want to believe that the dog turned into something that was not a dog, you're welcome to believe that. But don't call that science. Science is things that we can see, test, and demonstrate. Have you ever seen God? Well, then it's a religion, isn't it? Did you ever see the Big Bang? Well, then it's a religion, isn't it? Did you ever see stars coming from something that was not there? No, I've never seen that. Have you ever seen light come from non-light? We're not talking about any refrigerators, okay? I know you college students, nasty stuff, okay? No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about real light coming from something that is not a light, a rock coming to life. Have we ever seen that? Okay, so it's just as much a religious worldview as you're welcome to believe that. I'm not arguing with what you believe in. But please, I'm begging you, don't call that science. That is not part of science. That is a religious world view. Think of that definition of religion. It really is simply a religious world view. It's easy to tear down straw men when it comes to the Bible because God's Word is unchanging. So anytime somebody sets up a straw man about God's Word, it's easy to blow it down. God is an ape. Well, that's easy to blow down because God is a spirit. It can't be an ape, okay? God is outside of time, space, and matter. You and I here are inside the natural world. But the natural world, like I said at the beginning, cannot be explained of how it came into existence without appealing to the supernatural. You have to go outside of this world to appeal to it. Oh, well then, who made the Creator? Well, it doesn't really even matter. Nobody made God. That's why we call Him God. That's the term we give to something that is eternal. God is God because He's, how do you put this? God. That's kind of the best way to put it, okay? He is outside time, space, and matter. You can't say, hey, I'm not going to believe in something because I don't know who made him. That's like saying, you know what? I never saw the guy in China that made this MacBook. Well, I'm just not going to believe he existed. That's ridiculous. We have this here that proves that there was a designer, that proves that there really was the invisible things of creation are clearly seen, so that you are without an excuse for believing in God. I mean, to think that that tree right there came from nothing. Hey, you're welcome to believe that. Welcome, you can believe anything you want. That's not part of science. And now we need to start thinking about terms like, what does insanity mean? Losing touch with reality. To believe that everything came from nothing? Wow. We have really lost touch with reality. To believe that life evolved from a rock? Wow. Really lost touch with reality. Question I have. Do you believe that life evolved by chance, in abiogenesis, that life came about from non-living matter? Another question, if I can do two at once. Another question is, if the evolution worldview is correct, and you guys are just a bunch of animals, you animal, if that is true, how do we determine right and wrong? Who gets to determine right and wrong? Because if you're just an animal, baby, well, then go do it like they do it on the Discovery Channel, man. Because you're just an animal. When the truth of the matter is, you're not an animal. You were created by God with the ability to choose. I'm going to choose to glorify my Creator, or I'm going to choose to live for myself. That is the choice each one of us has to make. Are we going to live for ourselves as if we are God? We're real good at pretending that, aren't we? Or are we going to recognize that the invisible things of creation are clearly seen, and we're not going to have any excuse for not believing in God? Man, I'm telling you, I pray for you guys, because that is extremely, extremely